Hello, everybody. Sorry for a bit of a late start to the stream today. We got it figured out though before we had 12 in room. We got some Division Two primetime action for you today with MW Midnight Wasps versus HTF Heroes of Tier F. I'm Jacob. I'm joined by Gyrodos. What's up, Gyrodos?
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Jacob, for having me. This match is between two very high-level teams. Division 2 is some of the best Mario Kart you will ever see, so it's going to be a good one. Midnight Wasps, I believe, are 3-0, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not too sure the record of Here's a TF, but these guys are a force to be reckoned with as well. They can pop off at any time. But let's take a look at the lineups, see what teams are rocking
Yeah.
here.
So on the side of Heroes of Tier F, we're gonna have APG77, Donley, Haper, Milololo1, Stone, and Zaku. And for MW, we're going to have Clement, Enzo, Felix, Leo, Toad, and Yuki.
And our two POVs today are going to be from Milo and Toad. Toad, of course, winning Ragnarok, which is a incredible achievement. Won that fat $5,000 paycheck from JP Givner himself. That was an incredible ride to watch all around. And now he's playing in some of the highest level Mario Kart you will see. It's going to be a good one. Who
Yeah,
do you have
absolutely.
winning this, Jacob?
I, in my own team, DVP, have played both of these teams in MKU already. And we lost to both, unfortunately. We lost by 58 points to Heroes of Tier F. And we lost by 160 points to MW. So, my money has to go on MW here. They felt like the stronger team of the two when we played them. That's where my vote goes.
All right, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, either way, I think this will be a close match. MW is one of those teams that they have they have one of the best like all around teams I think in Division 2 right now. You got Toad, who's one of the best runners in the world even, and he's playing in Division 2 for Midnight Wasps. And you got Felix, who is well known for the brains of any operation he's in. So he's going to be doing lots of uh, controlling of the match. Clement is a great player. I believe he qualified for the European Championship from the French qualifiers, which was an insane accomplishment considering that he got like 360, which is getting first in 24 races in a row. Enzo, Leo, Yuki, also really good players, and I cannot wait to see these two teams face off.
Yeah, 100%. One thing that's kind of interesting about these two lineups, you look at the two sides, right? And MW has a lot of names that have been around for a very long time and have been playing in D1 and D2 for a very long time specifically. But then you look at HTF, most of these names have never played this high before. Like this
Yeah.
team has been grinding up the divisions together for a long time with the more recent addition of APG who has played higher. But most of them, like this is their first time playing in D2, and they're doing great so far for it being their first time.
And to add on to that as well, there's been I remember back in like season 19 or something, where these guys were Division 8, but they were just absolutely dominating every single match they played in. And specifically, I don't know if Tengai is playing in this match, but that guy was just popping off every single match. Did not care who it was against, did not care at all. Just popped off every single match. He's on their team. I don't believe he's playing, but they have plenty of players that are at his level or even higher now, which is fantastic for them, and that's why they're here at D2. So I let's see if okay. It looks like Toad is not in the room. He's not even attempting to join the room. So we might have some. Maybe Toad is AFK. Who knows?
Got a little bit of downtime to deal with here. That's all
Mm-hmm.
right.
But I want to see you guys in the chat. Who do you think is going to win? And do we have a prediction going right now for the
Looks
for
like we
the?
do. Oh, this prediction does not look
Oh no!
even at all. Um,
I gotta take HDF here. If I mean I'm getting like what 1 to 10 odds, like
yeah.
I'm
So,
gonna
okay.
I'm gonna put some channel points on him. I'll put like
Here's the deal, right?
I'll put 3,000 down.
Like
Why
I
not?
said, I do have personal experience playing against both of these teams. They play the game very differently from each other. In the MW war, they were always top 3, top 4. They were group running every single track, no matter what.
Okay.
In the HTF war, they were not. They were always in mid spots holding dodges. They would always pull shock, and all of a sudden they would be top 4 after shock. So two
Wow.
entirely different approaches to playing this game. And I think that it kind of slots into each other, right? So I
Yeah.
would predict to see MW running a lot at the beginning of races. And then HTF is going to pull shocks and completely flip the script like 4 different times this war, because that's what happened to us.
Yeah, I think that's gonna really come down to, who pulls the shock more. I think if HTF can pull a bunch of shocks this war, they might just win this and upset MW, who is the top team in
Totally.
D2 right now. But you could still counter the shocks despite not getting them. I mean, even in our matches today, like we pulled a bunch of shocks, but we were just not able to capitalize off of them. And yeah, so if you have a big enough breaks, if you're schlagging, you're getting the people who are in the mid spots, preventing them from getting into the top spots, you're just gonna have a huge break, and shock won't even really affect you. So it's gonna be interesting to see how Midnight Wasps counter the playstyle of Heroes of Tier F. I'm not too sure if they've gone up against a team like this before, so we're just gonna have to see.
It's very exciting. I'm interested to see if the way the two teams played is consistent, or if it just happened to be that way in the matches that I had played against them.
Yeah.
There's a lot to study for my own season here.
You have to play these guys again in
yeah.
later
They're
in the
both
season.
in the same conference.
Oh wow, yeah. So this would be a good match. Well, you get to cast it and everything. It's on the spotlight for everyone. So now your team, who better be watching, by the way. I know who
if
you
they're
are.
not watching, I don't know. Mr. P. Givener, he's too Hollywood to watch this.
Switched.
Wow.
He's going to the Oscars after party or something right now. I don't know
Yeah,
what he
probably. I would imagine. He just hit 150K subscribers, so he's big time now.
Yeah, no, he can't even be bothered to type in the chat anymore, man.
Wow.
Unbelievable. So Hollywood.
I sure hope he sees this. I sure hope he does.
I hope he does too.
But yeah, we're
we're
about to get started. Also, do you know what track picks these guys go for?
I mean, they're both French. They just go for the standard French tracks. MW does like some slightly weird ones. I know they really love Paris, which is mostly French, but they pick it more than other people. And then Dragon Driftway, they pick a bunch.
Okay, yeah, I remember Midnight Wasps does pick a lot of Dragon Driftway. I think Heroes of Tier F picks a lot of Mushroom Gorge, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, from what I know, HTF has a pretty quote-unquote standard track selection. A lot of what you would see in like a Lounge 6v6.
Gotcha.
We'll see what the pick is going to be, and it will immediately be Dragon Driftway. HTF is going to go for Bangkok, which I don't know if this is a pattern or if it never stopped, but I've noticed a ton of specifically French teams picking this track recently.
Yeah, I don't usually see that, but I know Sweatyzard picks it, which I believe they're D2 as well. Now
Yes.
HTF is picking it, so it's gonna be interesting to see whichever track comes out. We're gonna get Dragon, looks like. Yep. So this is one of Midnight Wasps' premier tracks, and they're gonna try and get a big lead to start off and get some momentum going. So we're gonna take a look at.
It's an interesting decision from them to not try to save this track for later, because obviously, like, this is their premier track. It's one that they probably feel very confident getting a winning race on. So it looks like they just want to get the lead right out of the gate and hopefully hold on to it for the rest of the war.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good strategy as well. It can really take a mental toll on your opponents, especially if you get like a really good race on race 1. We see
Toad not getting a box right away.
Yep. Let's see if he's gonna
Maybe
go.
a top 2 for HTF to start off, but did Zaku just fail the cut? Maybe. Yeah, he did.
So he's
So
gonna have
it
to
should
stay in the
still be
back
HTF
though.
in first.
So If HDF isn't first, then they are the Peach and the only Peach, and then I think they are also the only Villager as well, if I'm not mistaken. Toad does have a Ghost. He's gonna run this up. Very good spot to be in.
Ooh, very, very effective plant from Clement there. Unfortunately, going to hit his teammate as well. Oh, and another teammate.
Are a lot back here, though. Toad does have a Ghost whenever they do decide to pull Shock. It's going to be... Okay, he's going to use it here instead of taking the Nisk, which is an interesting decision. It has to Ghost because of the triple greens. Now he has a red. Might be able to sneakily take out Donley here.
You would expect the Shock to have come already. If they did have it, Toad would be the highest dodge for MW right now.
That is true, and it looks like he's going to have to use all these shrooms to protect himself. Are they top 2 at the moment?
Oh, stopping and going to get ready anyway, losing a bunch of time there, and he's still on the track somehow. How is he not getting hit a second time here? But his race is in such a different spot now.
An MW, or not MW, it must be an HDF, like, huge race right now for them. I believe that Birdo was them in first, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm not sure. It could still be either team, technically.
Because I don't know why Toad would stop there if his teammate was in first, right? Because he would just take the red, I would imagine.
Maybe.
Star Ghost, though. Let's see if there's a shock here at the end.
The Birdo is going to get first. It could be a big race for HTF, which is not what MW would want to see whatsoever.
I think Felix just pulled blue there, so... Oh, it was MW in first!
It was MW!
Oh my... They turned that around! Holy... They were like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there, and they had a huge distance between first. Like, that could have gone way wrong for Midnight Wasp, but they turned it around and got a huge race still. Wow, that's insane.
It just goes to show why they're so confident on that track. Because it felt like that was a god-awful situation for them, but they didn't panic. They just kept driving forward. Toad specifically getting hit from 2nd back to 11th, and just driving right back forward by the end of the race. Really good from them.
And it looks like we're going to get RWS for MW and Trainbow. Yeah, typical, standard rat pace. Nothing to see here.
No one in this room has any creativity, man.
Yeah, come on. It's okay. we'll get the boring out of the way. Oh, yes, we got the really boring out of the way. That's really good.
Oh, my goodness.
We don't want to see this later on. Okay, I do want to say something, though. There is something on this track that has revolutionized the way people play this.
The secret.
Smart steering SMT glider. And if you don't know what that means, you're probably going to see a lot of people doing it here.
What you basically do it, I would be shocked.
You turn on smart steering on the first boost panel, you do not lose any speed, and you drift off the first boost panel. Yep, you're going to see Toad do it.
Let's just stay on track because of the smart steering, and he's going to get both of these panels in the air, and all of a sudden him and his teammate are going to be top 2, and he's going to shroom up, getting 3 coins. Completely changes how this track plays, because obviously if you know one thing about this track, it heavily benefits bottom spots, but this is a tool to keep the top spots in the front. Pulling triple nanas here.
Yeah, this is huge for Toad.
It's
like,
a
if he
lot
can just
of MW up here.
He might just slag here and stop and try and hit them out, but they have just so many tops that he might even not bother. Okay, he does decide to back them. I don't know about that decision. I think he should have slowed down there.
Huge backfire from HTF here. MW is going to be at least 2, 3, 4. Toad getting hit out, though. Oh, the Nana!
That is so bad for Toad. He's in a terrible spot here. Blue is out. That's going to really benefit MW because they are 2, 3, 4 maybe at the moment. But they do have...
getting redded in 9. This race is pretty much over.
0 coins as well is not going to help that. It's going to be up to the top spots here to see if they can come back or to see if they can keep those. Toad is just staying back here no matter what happens. Oh, but Longley does fall off the track there. We do see MW in 789.
I think Enzo's behind them as well, so not all good spots for MW.
I think it's at bottom 3 actually for HTF. Because I think they're the villager, right? Yeah.
It was, yeah. I thought I saw Enzo getting hit out.
2, 3, 4, bottom 3 is not terrible for Heroes of TRF.
Good recovery from MW there, being able to get anything other than an awful race on Trainbow with those starting spots.
Yeah. I mean, I think this just goes to show how dominant Midnight Wasps are in the front. Like, they, even despite having one of the worst tracks for top spots in the entire game, they are able to get a winning race there. And that is just going to keep showing throughout the entire war. It's going to be up to HTF to pull some shocks, maybe they just need to have some people who are just keep on running no matter what happens to them. They just need to have people up there, and the bodies are gonna be belonging to Midnight Wasps in the front unless they can, revolutionize something here. But they are
100%.
down 32, so HTF does get their track pick in DK Summit though.
This
could be a good
kind
sign.
of track is really HTF's bread and butter. Like, it's one where Shock is powerful, and also one where you don't need to bag too hard for Shock. So
Exactly.
I think we're going to see a lot of HTF trying to get into a bottom 4 position here, and then just everyone holding dodges from their side.
And I'm not too sure if we have another POV, but it'll be interesting to see what Heroes of Tier F are doing on this track specifically. Just to see what kind of things they're going for. Triple Nanas from
Triple
Toad.
could be deadly.
But
He's right next to his
does have
teammate, though. Gotta
Enzo.
be careful with him.
Hopper does
Gonna
get
hit
the
out
trail
here.
off.
And it is going to be first for now for HTF. More Triple Nanas.
Wow. And he's... Okay, gets the trail off on someone, but not the person he was going for. I wonder if that
I don't
was...
even know what team that was, yeah.
Yeah. MW are first. They are 1-3. Toad with a good double could take over second, and he does. These are really good spots for MW, but again, Chalk is basically inevitable on this track, especially if you're even just trying for it. Oh, good green from, I believe that was Donley.
So it's
2, 3,
looking
4.
like only first, yeah.
Almost got Toad
Yeah.
with his own Nana. 2-3-4 though for HTF. They are in really good spots to capitalize off a potential shock here if they pull it, so...
Yeah, 100%.
It's gonna be weird to see what happens. If shock does come, it's gonna be most likely a target shock onto the top spots. Just depends on who it's gonna come from. Is Toad gonna go for this?
Would want a protection from that set. He does only have a shroom, and he's somehow avoiding everything still
Wow.
up here. Very nicely done from him.
HTF are top 2 though. If there's no shot, oh, never mind. There's a blue right there.
So Toad is
Shroom's
going
in
to
a
be in
first.
first. Most likely going to pull a coin here, though, and second is going to put on a ton of pressure. The
Bomb is huge
instead.
though.
Unbelievable pull from Toad.
Is he gonna drop it here? No, he decides to hold. He does have very low
dropping it
coins
right here.
though.
We'll see if he does. And the shock comes in. I think that's going to be an MW shock, though.
Yeah, he does get him before set. I imagine if it was an HTF shock. Yep, it looks like an MW shock. They're all up here.
APG's still up there with the green, so Toad has to be super careful.
Oh, that's
The
so
red
close.
as well. It's going to go for Leo.
Oh, yeah, it
Oh, the
skips.
failed double from Toad!
Oh no, this is so
Not
bad.
something you ever expect to see from a player like Toad. Really, really, really heartbreaking from him.
Blue does come out. Might have been a held blue for Mount. Not. I was gonna say Mount Oreo. Or Midnight Wasps. And I think HF got a decent race. Ooh,
It's still going to be a winning race for MW, it looks like. That is... If
relatively
that's what it
close.
takes. What will it take for HTF to get a winning race here? Because if they didn't
be
after
fair,
all of that...
I do believe that was an MW shock, so
True.
that's got to be like a decent result for them, despite that. Okay,
Yeah, for
another.
HTF, though, you're definitely hoping for a bit better than that.
Yeah, -8 again for them. They are down 40 after 3 races, which is not the start you want if your Heroes of Tier F. But there are showing signs of life. That DK Summit race, despite shock being pulled by MW, was still decent for HTF. So they held down a lot of
100%.
top spots too on DK Summit, which is a really good track for front spots, despite shock being a huge factor. We see Sky Garden for Midnight Wasps, one of their premier tracks as well. And HTF going back to Bangkok, they do get Sky Garden. This is an interesting track. What do you think of this, Jacob?
Sorry, I was distracted. This track sucks. I really hate this track. I don't think it's good at all, honestly. The reason I don't like it is because the leaf shortcut feels so inconsistent, as well as the shortcut at the end. It doesn't 100% feel like it's in your control to get both of those fast. And for me to like a track, I want to feel like I'm in control.
There are consistent ways. I'll just teach you after the match. Don't worry about it.
Okay. I'll study.
We see Toad shrimming up into second. APG does hold down first. He does have a green as well, and he's gonna back Toad, but he's gonna get redded. Does he survive though? He does. That's a huge play. Oh, but he does get double redded, I think. So that might be Felix in first right now. This is a lot of MW in the front. Okay, Felix is no longer in first. You see HTF in 3-4. It's just going to be up to who's in top 2. 2-3-4. But this Shroom Horn is going to take out Hopper. Not Hopper. Whoever was behind Hopper.
Red as well. It looks like, yeah, he may. I don't know if he had
not
protection
connect.
or not. He's still second somehow.
He might be able to take over second, though. Does not pull anything good, though. Nana's not that good.
Second. Nothing for Toad in second, but it is a better position for him than it is for Zaku right now.
Decent back attempt from Zakween. Does not connect, though. He does have protection for this red. He does trail. He's going to slow down. Take the double from Toad. Very good play.
Oh, the bomb in pocket could be deadly, though.
He's going to slow trail here? No, he's not going for it. There's the blue. Is he going to back out here? No, he doesn't.
He's not going to back out. He's going to end up taking this blue on the line.
It's Clement taking
Oh my goodness!
Oh, wow.
Ghost! Oh! He gets
God.
taken backwards, too.
Oh,
he steals the star, but it doesn't even matter. That is heartbreaking for Toad. That is awful.
9-12, though, for HTF. What are the spots in the front? Oh, it's still a good race.
Genuinely, what will it take for HTF to get a winning race? So many things are happening that are just awful to see for Toad, and still MW's winning every race.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking to see like that happen, but he's got to be glad that his teammates are backing him up, because otherwise this could have been like comeback time for Heroes of Tier F. Like there's almost no way that I would have imagined Heroes of Tier F not getting a winning race there, but they end up losing first. I think the blue ended up getting horned because I didn't see it come out onto anyone at the end, but I might be mistaken. And that was just like 1-3-4 out of that is insane considering all that happened.
Yeah, HTF they're really doing everything in their power right now, but when they're not pulling the shocks, they're not able to hold on to their top spots at the end when it counts. Like they're just going to keep picking up these losing races unless something changes.
Yeah, and I wonder if Midnight Wasps are going to keep this up, or if HTF are going to start pulling shocks, because I don't think they've pulled one yet.
No.
So it's just going to be a matter of time at this point. HTF need to start going, I think, a little bit harder for it. And Midnight Wasps just need to keep playing how they're playing. Don't need to make any adjustments. They're up 52 after 4 races. Like, that's the best start you could possibly hope for.
Toad? Having a bit of a mishap, but he's this track isn't exactly a hard runner, so he's not in a horrible position being back here.
Yes, this is a very weird track. It feels like if shock gets pulled, it's always super late, and it feels like it only ever gets used after last set, which is absolutely devastating because there's like 20 seconds of track, it feels like, after that last set. And
yeah, this track is definitely a runner until someone pulls shocks. So I mean, obviously Toad would like one to be pulled.
Oh, that's rough for him. He's gonna get fired, I think,
for the fire, luckily.
And it's gonna be, I think, HTF in first. I believe they are the Peach, but it's a lot of mixed spots up there. Oh, and so backing his own teammate.
Yeah, if I'm Toad right now, I'm definitely starting to beg for shock. I'm interested to see why he isn't. I guess he does have a lot of teammates back here.
And he does have 9 coins, which is a very good spot to be in.
He does chain that. Very lucky to get a star there. I think he got that set in 8th as well. So
yeah,
really fortunate for him that he pulls a star.
You might have to use the star to just catch up here because of. Okay,
yeah,
HTF is in a ghost here. He does star, so I don't believe they have shock because he would have held that. Oh, those triple reds are going to be huge.
Yeah, who has them, though? I don't know which team.
I believe it's HTF.
Yeah, it's going to be Zaku.
But he does have fire. Takes out 2.
Wow,
he's probably going to take out the last
well
one.
Played.
Yeah, he does. Okay. It's just going to be up to the top spots.
Single green of 5 is horrible. He really can't do much of anything with this item. And yeah, he just needs to protect himself from the red with it.
Oh, is there another red behind him? Okay, looks like his teammates are now behind him. It's going to be up to the top.
Oh, there's another MW shock.
I think that was a HTF shock.
No, I got all of HTF after set.
Who is the dodge? That is very important. Who has the fire here?
I think it's MW. That Black Birdo is going to be Enzo,
it is!
So it's going to be another good race for MW. Top 3, top 4.
Top 4.
Oh, no.
My God.
HTF needs to start pulling shocks 4 races ago, dude. This is...
Wow.
It's not going their way whatsoever right now.
Yeah, you were definitely right about the shock. There's just no way that HTF would call that there. That is, wow. They're playing incredible right now.
Yeah, I
They're
mean,
they're countering what would be HTF's only counter to them, which is pulling shock, and they're still like they're not dominating in the front per se, but they're good enough up there to where if they don't pull shock, they're winning the race, and if they do pull shock,
yeah.
that happens.
Well,
So
I don't understand it, dude, because there have been mixed spots in the front, like most of these races, and somehow by the time we get to last set, MW is top everything. Like it
yeah,
keeps happening. I don't understand. HTF just always gets hit out right at the end.
it's actually kind of insane how HTF has not gotten a single winning race yet. That's just showing the dominance. Despite not them having it for the first 2 laps, they just always get it in lap 3, and it's showing in the scoreline.
Yeah, 100%. And it is going to be MW, not MW, RWS coming out for MW here.
You could have improvised. You could have said MW got RWS. It's all good.
No,
Anyways,
bad. Everything's bad, Gyrodos.
okay. Well, I mean, MW get the track pick in RWS is what Jacob should have said, but unfortunately he stumbled on his words. Professional
I'm just
caster
such
here.
such an awful improviser. What can I say? Toad gonna go tight here, and it is gonna be Leo getting the draft, or maybe even a shrimp. So it is gonna be MW holding their top spots at least to begin with. I think it's a top 3 or even a top 4 right now.
And Toad got plenty of coins there, despite not getting any of the first 4. So he's gonna have a ton of coins to just keep his second place here. And I believe this is still top 4 for MW, and they're starting to get a break, even though it's just at the middle of lap 1. There's no one in sight. But it's gonna all change
still
after
very
this cut.
tight. I think I saw it get a little bit wider there. It might be HTF starting to realize what situation they're in here, but yeah, no one's really going for shock yet. And that
What?
Nana
I think that was an
his
MW.
teammates. Yeah,
No,
that
I
was
think
Leo.
he threw that. I think he threw that forward, and it like bounced off the wall.
Well, ridiculous either way. It makes the situation a lot less good for MW here. Zaku's going to be in second.
APG does have a red, but we see Toad with the bomb. He's gonna try and
dangerous.
trail him out. Oh, he does go for the red on the bomb. I think he got hit by that too. No, he's still alive.
Just going to stop at set. Yeah, shot
That's the
coming
shock.
in again! MW!
What is happening?
They're top everything, and they still somehow managed to pull shock.
And that's a really good, heads up play from Toad there. Just stopping at the set, getting all 3
Oh, the bomb!
Oh, that is not good.
The exact play that Zakuin had to make there. That is the one recovery option he had. It is going to be MW in first.
If he does
Toad's
back
race is
that,
pretty much over.
he's not hitting either of MW there. So that is an incredible play. And we do see MW in bottom 3 right now, despite using that shock. Oh, there's Donley. He does have 2 reds, though.
Stone got hit out as well. It is. Is HTF bottom 3 again?
Oh, no.
I think they
Oh, no.
Dude.
What is happening?
I'm going to be so sad if HTF doesn't win this race.
Dude, they did so much there. I don't think they're getting a winning race.
No, they got top 4. Okay.
Top 4.
Okay.
Top 4, 9, 10. Okay, their first winning race. Good job on them. They played that incredible, by the way. That
was so good. That was so good.
The one mistake that Midnight Wasp made, throwing that Nana forward, not realizing it was going to bounce off the wall and go really tight, gets both of them. They end up in those mid spots, and even though there was a shock after set for all 2 of 3, 4, and getting their first on the glider, they get top 4 that race. Absolutely insane stuff from Heroes of TRF, and great recovery from them to pull out a really good race. I think the biggest race of the entire war so far.
Yeah,
oh no, tied for it. But they're only down 46. This is doable.
Yeah, with how brutal this war has been so far, the fact that they're only down 46 should give them hope. Because even though that's like more than you want to be down by, like it could be so much worse for them right now. They do still have a chance to win this war.
And that bomb from Zakuin was just that was the play of the war right there. Just realizing that he could get that off and get 2 of MW in the blast is really, really insane. And it showed by them getting top 4, and they're suddenly back in it. just with that one race.
I think both of these teams like Bangkok. So it is going to be a battle of two evenly matched teams on this track. We'll see who comes out on top here. Obviously, HTF having the spot advantage to start off. Maybe just a shroom from Toad, and getting bumped out as well, so he is going to be not quite in the front at the start here, although he is picking up a draft.
Yeah, and something has drastically changed on this track. Usually people would go for the boats to try and get, or the second boat at least, the very last one. People would usually go for that because it was technically faster in time trials, but nowadays people just go for the draft and try and, you know, shroom up, things like that, and usually when you go for the boat, you get bumped or you get bumped on the landing, and you get a really bad alignment for the next turn. But now everyone's starting to realize that is the case, and they all just go left. And it's a big development on the track because it makes it way more of a drafter nowadays, because it really requires you to you basically have to go left or you're going to be in a bad situation a lot. So we see Toad in 8th. His teammate Enzo is in 1st. We see a lot of mid spots belonging to HT.
Triple reds behind him. This is a very dangerous situation right now.
Okay, I think this is a 1-4-5-6 for MW. Okay, now they got hit out.
In as well, yeah.
More top spots belonging to MW.
HTF once again, even though they had a good race last time, they're once again in a situation where they need a shock, otherwise they're screwed this race.
Red is not the best pull, but he ends up backing it, get the blooper off his face. A lot of good spots for MW. They need a shock, HTF do, if they want to turn this race around, and it doesn't look like it's happening.
Top 4 for MW.
Oh, no.
Ghost coming in, shock would have already happened if they had it, so this will be top 4 for MW. Immediate answer from them.
And I think Copper got hit on the line. That might be a top 5.
When MW started to get a bit scared, when HTF came back a bit, immediate answer. They're down even more now. That is
not what you wanted to see if you're a Heroes of Tier F fan. That was devastating. And I believe we have a dominant performance from Midnight Wasp now. Like,
wait, hold on. This is more important. That track is called Flipper Waluigi in French.
What?
Waluigi Pinball is called Flipper Waluigi, dude. That name is ridiculous.
I thought you were saying Bangkok was called that, and I was very confused.
No. Can you imagine? Okay, sorry. Whatever thing you were saying, you can continue now.
Okay. Well, I was saying how, you know, that race is just gonna turn this into a dominant performance from Midnight Wasp. I do not see Heroes of Terra F coming back from this, but it is still technically possible, and you got to stick around because, you know, these have been huge races every single time, so it could start to be, you know, huge races for HTF. You never know, but from the way it's looking, it's not what you want to see for HTF.
HTF getting an important track pick though, so it will benefit them. If they can get a good race here, they still maybe have a chance, but they really need a good race right now. And I mean a really good race. We're going to see what MW decides to do starting in top 5 here. How many of them are going to end up running? Toad obviously will not be one of the people running. Actually, it's going to be a lot of MW stopping at the beginning. It's pretty much all of them in the bottom 4. Only Milo from the other team. Be a 10-11 for MW right now. Obviously, shock can't be pulled quite yet, so the spots don't matter too much. But 3 bottom 4 for MW, actually, so they are in a better position to pull it than HTF is.
Yeah, they're going to start being able to pull it at this next set. We're going to see if HTF does decide to stop or not. Okay. I don't think this is a great idea for HTF, just sitting in the mid spots. You see a lot back there.
HTF will be 2 of the bottom 4 going into that first set, so it's a better situation for them, but yeah. MW did definitely have the jump on them when it comes to having the shock odds at the beginning.
Zakwin made a really good play there and slowed down to force out whatever Toad had in 5th, and it ended up being a star. So this is looking pretty good for HTF, but he has to worry about the horn. He does horn all 3 of the greens, but does not get tilt, but he does get
landed right on the Nana, unfortunate.
I believe
Well, he
Leo does have a horn in first, so it's not over for him just yet. Oh, no, he doesn't. Oh, wow.
Hello? Oh my, what?
What is happening?
Where'd that bomb come from? How did
Wow.
he get there?
I think HDF have 2-3-4 at least, or 1-3-4. No one has used shock yet, so if it comes, it's going to be in these next couple of seconds.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Smart steering saves you from that?
Yeah, wow, that is insane.
We are seeing
What a
wide
heads-up
Toad
play.
1 Ragnarok. What an amazing play from him.
And he's going to be able to keep fourth here, and maybe... Oh, okay, he almost sniped
okay.
himself.
He's been doing this a bit, but he never actually gets hit by the nanas. Shock
Oh,
finally
that's
coming in. It is going to be MW.
I don't even know whose shock that was, to be honest. It doesn't really change
that
any spots.
Was that a top 3? Yeah, it was a top 3 for HDF.
Wow, so they must have held that shock for the end.
Yeah.
That's a good race.
Definitely the race they wanted. Honestly, they probably wanted even more than that, but they'll take what they can get at this point.
I mean, that's like a plus, what, 16, 20? Something like that. It's going to be decent enough, and it's going to give them a shot. They're going to only be down around 50 or so after that race. Yeah, 56.
56 with 1 GP left. So, I mean, it's possible. That's about what they were down after GP1, so it's definitely possible. But with the way that MW has been playing this war, it feels unlikely for them to get a GP that good.
The thing is, if they keep up those kind of races, every single race for these last 4, they are going to clutch out the win. But they have to have that happen every single race.
Yeah.
And I just don't see that happening. It's a little too much, I think. But HDF, they're looking to make it happen. I think if any team is capable, it is HTF because of how well they are, using these shocks despite not getting many of them.
Yeah, this New York pick from MW though, that is brutal for Heroes of Tier F, because this is another one of MW's specialties, and I'm not sure how well HTF is going to be able to respond. Usually
On this track, it's just whatever the better team is on the track is usually the one who wins it. It usually doesn't matter too much what the spots are because, there's things that can happen that are good for you in almost every single spot. Like the bottom 4, they can all pull shrooms. Top 3, they can pull reds and coins and take out the people in the front. Toad, we see pulling a shroom in like 5th place. Shroom's up in the first.
I think what you're saying is exactly why MW picked this track. Even though HTF had better spots to start off with, MW is very confident they can outplay the other team here. And I mean, so far that seems to be the case.
Yeah, Shroom in first, does get the trail off. Does not have another protection though. Felix is behind him. He does survive as well. He's going to probably be able to chain in this set. No, he decides to hold just in case. Oh, Clement's Shroom actually got ghosted in first, so he does have 2 Shrooms. He might be able to take a... Okay, decides not to take the cut. But if there's a blue, he's going to be able to drop out in time because there is such a big gap between the top 3 spots and the spots that can pull blue and shock. So we're going to have to see how this goes. If HTF can pull shock here, this will be huge for them. Shock is devastating on this track, and
it should come right here if they do have it. Getting MW after set.
Yeah, here or like after last set. Last set is one of the most brutal shock spots in the entire game. There's the ghost.
Play. Not sure who it is. I don't think they have it. This could be curtains for HDF here.
If it comes, it's right now.
No, they don't.
Oh, so this is horrible. And the blue got horned.
This
is looking like curtains.
This could be it.
I believe that's HTF in 3-4, but top 2 is still going to give them a at least decent race. Yeah, top
it's
2, 5, 6.
9, 10, 12 from HTF, so it was looking bad before. It's looking near impossible now.
Again, still mathematically possible, but you have to think about it in the lens of are we going to actually make this happen? And Midnight Wasps have just been dominating every single track except for a very select few. That mistake on R-dubs really is what cost them. That race you can kind of throw out the window as, a Midnight Wasp catastrophe. And the rest, Super Bell Subway, they end up not pulling shock despite being, 3 bottom 4 for a lot of that race. And there's like, one other race in there for Heroes of TF that they won?
HTF has only had 2 winning races.
Oh, wow, yeah. So they had to have a lot happen. They had to have MW mistakes or MW bad luck for them to get those huge winning races. So they're gonna have to get
Yeah.
those things to happen in all 3 of these next races for them to even have a shot at this win.
Yeah. And I mean, think of the MW shot count versus the HTF shot count so far in this war. Like, it feels so unlikely for HTF to get 3 massive races here, but that's what they need.
We do see them get their Hyrule pick, which is even worse for Heroes of Tier F.
Toad thought he might have held that shroom there, but he is going to get pushed a little bit into the off-road, so he will be forced to use it right away.
Yeah, I think
Still
shrooming in
top 2,
the
though.
first place is a very good play on this track because, you're not going to be able to keep it for the entire race. So, it's... Now we see HGF
Red's
in a lot of
skipping.
mid spots.
Good thing he used the shroom.
Yeah, because he would have been redded there for sure. And I think that HGF does have a lot of mid spots, but I believe it's probably mixed in the back for the most part. Nobody's going for shock just yet.
He's going to be end zone last, and it looks like he got hit in last as well, so he will be back there.
We do see top 2 for MW at the moment, but the boomerang taking out Toad in first. He does have one last shot to protect himself from this potential red coming out for Clement.
And he's going to back it. It's not going to hit the red. He's going to get redded out.
Oh, no. That's such a huge misplay.
I think HTF was in Hail Mary mode. They needed top everything, so he was going for the back ring to try and hit him out, but missing it just hurts so much.
Yeah, and that's going to be a top 3 for MW. They really need shock. And we see a ton of...
Look at this pack.
Actually, 4 in the back. I believe that's 3 of bottom 4 for HTF, but like they need to use it after this next set or it's just over.
Yeah, and it might be over anyway. Like the pack is so wide here, and so much of HTF is
MW are
they're
top
not
4.
catching up.
They need to use it now, and they don't have it. There's the blue.
Even if they did have it, that bottom 4 would have been so far back, it would have been unlikely for them to pass MW here. It looks like this is going to be GG's.
Okay,
and,
that almost...
And Clement now
dodged.
Comes in. It's
oh,
too late,
last second shock, but it looks like it's not going to change anything unless there's like triple reds here, which I don't think there is.
Yeah, it's still going to be a top 3 for MW. That should be mathematically...
Top 4. Yeah, that's it. MW, undefeated in Division 2, 4-0. What an absolute dominant performance from them. They are one of the scariest teams in American Universal right now.
I am shocked at how good they are. Because if you look at the roster now compared to last season, it's just adding Toad, really.
Yeah.
But adding Toad is such a massive thing. Like, it completely changes the dynamic of this team, in Division 2 especially. Having a player that good on your roster?
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem like... I don't know who could beat this team in Division 2. Like, honestly.
Record-wise, it would be FH.
Yeah, FH definitely has the best chance. They were previously Division 1. And even though I think they lost Strike, they did have some ads. And, yeah, I mean... They were not too bad in Division 1 either, so that's got to be the one team that could take out Midnight Wasps right now. I wonder, do they face off maybe next week?
It's either next week or the week after. I'm not sure. They're in 2 different conferences, so it'll be
either
soon.
way. It's going to be 2 really, playoff-bound teams at this point, even though we're only 2 weeks into the season.
We can call it right now. Like, I think it would be very unlikely to see any 2 teams other than FH and MW in finals in Division 2.
I don't know about finals, but definitely
I do.
I don't see these teams not getting playoffs,
Those 2 teams to me feel much stronger than the rest of the division. And it's a strong Division 2, don't get me wrong. These teams are on a different level though.
I like what Toad does here. He goes for coins in second place. Top 3 for MW there, and we have Toad, basically is going to be so much faster than everyone else here, even faster than his teammate in first, who probably pulled a coin in as well. So we see APG, he's just going to get passed up by Toad straight up. Like,
it's always such a risky play to go for the coins there, but Toad, so confident in himself that he can not get bumped and stay in the front, just benefiting so much.
He just doesn't stop. Like, I mean, he's got to be one of the best players in the world. He's not even playing in Division 1, so you've got to imagine that, like, he's got to have some effect on this team as well.
He got cooked, though.
He got cooked. That is true, but it's not going to matter at this point.
No. HDF is playing for clips at this point.
Yeah.
And they got one.
But yeah, I mean, Toad still has plenty of coins, and he's gonna be able to. Ooh,
this could be payback here.
Is he getting the reverse Twitter clip? Is that what's happening right now?
Payback.
Is he gonna go for it in the 2?
Where can HDF even go?
That's not gonna connect.
One of the best players in the world. I don't know. He missed a bomb snipe.
Yeah, but I mean, like I was saying, he's got to have some like huge effect on this team. Like this team was not. They weren't like bad, but they weren't.
No.
Wow, they weren't this good, going into this season, and they had to have changed something about their play style. They had to have changed something about what they're doing, and maybe Toad had a part in that. Oh, 2 shocks.
And it's still a winning race for MW.
Still a winning race. Like even when it doesn't matter, they just keep going. And I mean, even though Toad, like we were saying, one of the best players in the world, 3 of his teammates are outscoring him right now. Like, that is insane to think about.
Yeah.
It's just absolute dominant performance.
And MW is going to be up 96 with 1 left. They're going for the plus 100 here.
Have they ever won a match by less than 100 this season?
Oh, yeah. They actually had some close ones.
Oh, really? Okay.
Let me check the tables quick. They only beat Worldfriend by 2, actually.
Oh, wow. So,
yeah,
I mean,
that's super
I think
surprising.
Worldfriend has got to be in their conference then, right? If they played them that early?
No, they're in the other conference. They played an hour ago.
Oh, wow. So a narrow win for MW. Okay. Well, I mean, Worldfriend, do you know what the record is?
They won both their matches this week. Worldfriend's 3-1, it looks like.
Okay. So
and
that's probably the only other team besides Fire Hydrant that could beat this team, because they basically almost did. So yeah, it's gonna be a wild ride. I think those 3 teams probably have playoff spots inbound, but still a lot of the season to go. So anything can happen, but I'd love to see who could take that last potential spot in the playoffs. And I think the 1 seed could be a huge factor in this as well.
Can we talk about how Toad just got bumped like through the pole and somehow didn't actually lose anything for it?
Yeah. That was just a little wonky, No biggie. He just keeps on driving like normal.
I'm just saying, if that was me, I would be in last after that.
Are you saying Toad's more lucky than you? Is that what you're trying to say here, Jacob?
No. Division 0 player. That's what I'm saying.
Regardless, MW is winning this match, and they're just going to try and flex the plus 100. We'll see if they can get it. Toad, on the other hand, can't get 100 points, which is a disaster for him. If anyone has him in fantasy, it's just, not what you wanted. But
no. Really, this whole war has been a disaster.
Yeah, for Toad. Yeah, you did see a lot of bad things happening in this war. Despite that, they have been absolutely dominant. So it's so funny that, Toad having some of the worst luck I think he's probably had all MKU, despite that, is still going to score well above average. And I think that's HCF in first, and they might have Shock here. Oh, no, they don't have it, because they would have used it right here, I think. Or he would have held that coast for a little bit longer.
Yeah, that is an interesting path. I've never seen someone take it that way.
I think there's a lot of HDF in the front right now, but Shock changes a lot about this track. So
Felix having a star in 5th, if Shock does come in.
Oh, okay.
Okay, man.
He's making up for all of his bad luck. A lot of mid spots, though, belong to MW. I don't think they have either top 2, though, so...
No.
Looking like it's...
Oh, no!
Oh! Never mind. Stand corrected.
Oh, he's getting glued on the line! Uh-oh!
Clement, what's spot did we get here?
What?
They did already win, but...
Okay, he still got 4th.
2 through 5, no biggie. Just another standard winning race for Midnight Wasps. I almost said it again. But they do get the plus 100 win. Absolute dominant performance. Not even close. And they're showing why they're probably the best team in Division 2 right now. And
they were the 2 seed in this division, and so obviously they were expected to do well, but I think they're doing better than anyone would have ever guessed. Just the addition of one guy completely changed this team. Absolutely hats off to MW here. Really, really good stuff.